Okay, so the next daybook that we're going to look at is the purchases daybook. Your purchases daybook is a listing of all of the purchases that you made during the month for your business. It can be broken down into two parts. So, goods that you buy for your business with the intention of reselling. So, in this case, we're a bookstore. So, any books or materials that we buy in that we can ultimately stick a price sticker on and resell are goods for resale. We will also purchase during the course of the month goods or services that we can't resell on. So we may have a business consultant come in to write a report for us. We may have somebody come in to design a web page. We may purchase telephone services or broadband services or electricity. So all of those things are still purchases, but we can't resell them in the business. So we break our purchases daybook down into goods for resale and goods not for resale. Now, in the course of doing our questions, the template that I use for the purchases daybook is it's the same, or for the purchases invoices, it's the same for every company. In reality, you will get every shape and make of invoice in, and they're not going to neatly be laid out for you to know what figures to take. So you just need to think about them and find the figures that you need. In this case, same process as we did with our sales daybook. So we go through all of our source invoices, our source documents, and we identify the ones that are for the purchases daybooks. So they are any invoices that have come in, the likes of this from Eason's. We have one from the ESB, another one from Eason's. We have from Amabook. We have one from Sony e-readers, and I think there's a credit, yeah, from Sony e-readers. So all of those, we would just identify them, mark them as being for the purchases daybook, and then just sort them into date order for entry into our daybook. So, a couple of things that we're going to need off of these, a couple of key pieces of information. So, we obviously need the company name, we need the invoice number, we need the date, we need the total amount, the VAT amount, and the net amount. Okay, so we're just going to pop in that information then into our purchases daybook. So, here's one I've made earlier. So you can see if we just look at that Eason's, that first Eason's invoice, the date of it was the 2nd of August. It's from Eason's. The invoice number is 4501. So I'm just going to double check. So Eason's 4501, 2nd of August. The next piece of information we need is the total amount. So back here to your total amount of 252,150. Then our goods, oh, excuse me, our goods at 23%. So again, goods at 23%, 2050. And then our VAT amount of 471.50. So you see here the breakdown between goods for resale and goods not for resale. You see with the ESB, we pop in the total amount of the invoice. Our VAT amount is the same regardless of whether it's a good for resale or a good not for resale. We just have one VAT column, and then we just pop in our net amount into the goods not for resale. Our credit note that we have with Sony e-readers goes in here, and it goes in as a minus amount. So just putting in all of the details, summing up or totaling our columns, and that is our purchases daybook. Okay.